The small house felt very quiet. Too quiet. A young woman sat on a simple wooden chair. Her face was turned away from the light. One hand held a cold cloth to her cheek. Outside, the sun was bright. Birds sang. A normal day. But inside, nothing felt normal. Everything felt broken. She thought about the morning. How happy she had been. How she had made breakfast. How she had smiled. And then, the quick change. The hard words. And then, the pain. He hit me. The words were small. Barely a whisper. But they were true. She had never thought it would happen. Not to her. Not in her life. It was something she had read about. Something she had seen in movies. But not real. Not her real. Tears started to fall. Not loud crying. Just quiet tears. Each one felt like a small piece of her heart breaking. She thought about leaving. Running away. Going far, far away. But where? And how? Fear held her like a heavy blanket. The clock on the wall ticked. Each tick was loud in the quiet room. Time was passing. She could not stop it. But what was she going to do with it? She remembered her mother's words. Long ago, you are strong. You can do hard things. She had been a child then. She had fallen from a tree. It had felt like the end of the world. But her mother had helped her up, cleaned her cuts, and told her she was strong. Was she strong now? Could she do this hard thing? She looked around the room. It was small, but it was her space. It held her things, her books, her small joys. Should she leave it all? Because of him? A small voice inside her said, "No." She stood up. Her legs felt weak, but they held her. She walked to the window. She looked out at the bright day. It was still there. The world was still there, even after the bad thing. She took a deep breath. It hurt a little, but she did it. Again and again. She thought about what she wanted, what she needed, not just for now, but for her life. She wanted peace. She wanted safety. She wanted to feel good again. Could she have those things here? With him? The answer came quickly. No. It was a hard truth, but it was the truth. She knew what she had to do. It would not be easy. It would be the hardest thing she had ever done. But she had to do it. She had to make a plan. First, she needed help. She thought about her friend, the one with the strong voice, the one who always knew what to do. She would call her. Now, her hand shook as she reached for the phone. But she did it. She dialed the number. The phone rang. Once, twice, 3 times. Then, a voice. Hello. It was her friend, her strong friend. The young woman took another deep breath. And then she spoke. "He hit me," she said. The words were a little stronger this time. Her friend was quiet for a moment. Then her voice came, clear and strong. "I am coming," she said. "I will help you." And in that moment, the young woman knew. She was not alone. She was not as weak as she had felt. She had a friend, and she had a small but growing strength inside her. Her friend came quickly. She held the young woman. She listened. She did not judge. She just helped. They made a plan. A safe place to go. A way to get her things. A way to be safe. It was step by step. Small steps. But they were steps forward. The next few days were hard. Very hard. There were tears. There was fear. There was the pain of leaving. But there was also the growing strength. The strength of knowing she was doing the right thing. The strength of having good people with her. She learned things about herself. She was stronger than she knew. She was braver than she thought. She could ask for help. And she could say no. It was not the end of the story. It was the start of a new story. A story of healing. A story of hope. A story of a woman who learned that even when someone hurts you, you can still find your way to a good life. A life of peace and safety. She learned that words can hurt, but they don't have to break you. She learned that even when you feel like you are at your lowest, there is still a light inside you, a spark of strength that can grow. She learned that help is okay, and asking for it is a sign of courage, not weakness. The road ahead was not smooth. There were bumps and turns, moments of doubt, and times when the pain felt like it was too much to bear. But with each step, With each small victory, she gained more confidence. She started to believe in herself again. She started to see that the darkness was not all there was. There was also light, and she was moving towards it. She found a new place to live, a small apartment that felt safe and clean. She got a new job, one that was not perfect, but it gave her a sense of purpose and a little bit of independence. She started to meet new people, people who were kind and supportive, people who saw her for who she was, not for what had happened to her. She also started to take care of herself in ways she had not before. She went for walks in the park, feeling the sun on her skin and the breeze in her hair. She read books, losing herself in stories that took her away from her own trouble for a while. She even started to paint, something she had always wanted to do but had never had the time or the courage. Painting became a way for her to express her feelings, the ones she could not always put into words. She painted the darkness, the pain, the fear, but she also painted the light, the hope, the strength, and the love that she was starting to feel again. Slowly, very slowly, she started to heal. The scars, both inside and out, did not disappear completely, but they became less painful, less raw. They became a part of her story, a reminder of what she had been through, but also a symbol of how far she had come. She learned that healing is not a straight line. It is more like a winding road, with ups and downs, twists and turns. There were days when she felt like she was making progress, and then there were days when she felt like she was back at the beginning. But she learned to be patient with herself, to be kind to herself, and to trust the process. She also learned the importance of forgiveness. Not forgiveness of the person who had hurt her, not yet, but forgiveness of herself. Forgiving herself for not seeing the signs, for staying longer than she should have, for feeling weak and helpless. She realized that she had done the best she could with what she knew and what she had at the time. One day, she looked in the mirror and saw a different person staring back at her. Not the broken, scared woman she had been, but a stronger, more resilient woman, a woman who had faced her fears and overcome them, a woman who had learned to love herself again. And in that moment, she smiled. Not a big, bright smile, but a small, quiet smile, a smile that came from deep within her heart. It was a smile of hope, a smile of healing, a smile of a new beginning. She knew that her journey was not over. There would still be challenges ahead, but she also knew that she was ready for them. She had the strength, the courage, and the love she needed to face whatever the future might bring. She was no longer a victim. She was a survivor, and she was writing her own story now, a story of her own making.